Ladies, I want you to imagine something for a second. You're sitting with a man, maybe at dinner, maybe in the car, maybe on the couch, and suddenly his hand goes somewhere, not on you, but on himself. And in that moment, he tells you everything without saying a single word. Today, I'm going to reveal the one place a man touches in front of you that instantly shows he wants sex, and why this tiny gesture is one of the biggest tells of male desire. Because here's the truth. Men may act confident, bold, even dominant, but when they feel sexual energy around a woman, their body betrays them before their mouth does. And if you don't know what to look for, you'll miss a moment where he's basically shouting, "I want you right now." So let's get into it. When a man wants sex, he will often touch his lower abdomen right above the belt line, especially that small area right above the belt line. He's revealing a truth that most men would never dare to say out loud. It's one of the clearest, most instinctive signs of male desire. And what makes it so powerful is that he isn't planning it, he isn't doing it to look sexy, and he definitely isn't doing it to draw attention. His body simply reacts to you. It reacts to the attraction he's trying to keep under control. Men are taught from a very young age to be composed, confident, and in control of themselves. But attraction, real, raw, physical attraction, that's the one thing he can't fully hide, and it shows up exactly in that spot. You have to understand something about male physiology. When a man is turned on, whether it's because of the way you're looking at him, the sound of your voice, the closeness of your body, or even just the tension in the air, his body registers it instantly. The first place that tightens, warms up, and builds pressure is the lower stomach. This is the bridge between his mind and his physical desire. It's where excitement gathers before it travels anywhere else. So when his hand goes there, when he rests his fingers on that area or rubs it gently or even presses it for a second, it's because he feels something rising inside him that he needs to manage. Most men don't even realize they're doing it. It's a self-regulating motion, a grounding gesture, almost like he's trying to steady himself because the chemistry with you is hitting him harder than he expected. And here's where it gets even more interesting. This gesture only happens when he feels attracted to you specifically. If he was just adjusting his shirt or scratching an itch, it would be quick, thoughtless, and random. But when a man touches his lower abdomen while maintaining eye contact with you, or during a moment when the conversation is playful or intimate, or when the space between your bodies feels charged, that's not coincidence, that's desire. He does it because he feels vulnerable in that moment. Attraction makes men nervous too, even if they pretend otherwise. That little touch is his body saying, slow down, breathe, control yourself, because something about you is speeding up everything inside him. Maybe it's your smile, maybe it's your confidence, maybe it's the sexual tension he feels when you lean in just slightly closer. Whatever it is, it's affecting him, and his hand moves before he can think. What makes this signal so revealing is the fact that he does it in front of you. Men hide what they don't want you to see. If he's touching that spot openly, he's not covering up the attraction, he's feeling it too strongly to mask it. And if you watch closely, you'll notice his whole energy changes. His posture shifts, his breath deepens, his voice lowers just a little, and his body becomes more aware of yours. That simple touch on the lower abdomen is his desire speaking louder than his words ever could. When a man is around a woman he's deeply attracted to, one of the biggest internal battles he faces is the tension between how he feels and how much of it he wants to reveal. Men love to appear composed. They love looking like they're in control, confident, relaxed, and unfazed. But desire doesn't care about appearances. When a man is turned on, his body reacts immediately, long before he can talk himself into staying cool. And that's exactly why he starts touching that lower part of his stomach, because he's trying to control something that's becoming very difficult to hide. Most women don't realize how sensitive men are to their own arousal around someone they want. When a man starts feeling that heat, that rush of excitement, he becomes hyper aware of everything, his breathing, his posture, the space between your bodies, even the way his clothes feel against his skin. He's not trying to be dramatic. He's trying to manage a reaction he wasn't fully prepared for. That hand on his lower abdomen isn't random. It's him telling himself, hold it together, don't be obvious. It's a grounding move, a self-check, a way of keeping his composure in a moment where you're affecting him more than he expected. Arousal for men is physical before it's verbal. While a woman may feel emotional excitement first, a man often feels it in his body instantly. That lower abdominal area tightens first. His stomach gets warm. His breath subtly changes, and he knows exactly what that means. So what does he do? He tries to calm it. He tries to redirect his energy. He tries to stop the reaction from becoming too visible. And touching that spot is his instinctive way of easing the intensity. It's almost like a pressure valve he's trying to release, just enough tension to stay present and not lose control. This is also why he suddenly becomes more focused on you physically, but quieter with his words. He'll listen more carefully. His eyes will lock onto your mouth or your eyes. He'll shift his body closer without even planning to. But he might also pause in the middle of a sentence or exhale a little deeper or change the subject because he's trying not to let you see how turned on he just got. He thinks he's hiding it, but that touch on the lower abdomen gives everything away. And the truth is, he's not touching that area because he wants attention. He's doing it because he's trying to avoid showing you too much too soon. He's trying to be respectful. He's trying to stay in control. Men are terrified of coming across as desperate or overly forward. So when they feel that spark hit too fast, they immediately try to steady themselves. You may think you just said something funny or touched his arm lightly, but to him, that tiny moment sent a wave of sexual energy straight through his body. What makes this so telling is that he only does it when he's attracted to you. He doesn't do it with friends. He doesn't do it around co-workers. He doesn't do it when he's bored. He does it when he's fighting the urge to show you just how much he wants you. That little touch is him holding himself back because your presence is pushing him forward. One of the most important things women need to understand about men is this: his body will always confess his desire long before his mouth ever does. Men are taught to be logical, to think before they act, and to avoid emotional vulnerability, but attraction doesn't play by those rules. When he feels drawn to you physically, emotionally, or sexually, his body reacts instantly, instinctively, and without permission. And the fascinating part is, he barely even notices he's doing it. You will catch the signs before he realizes he's revealing them. When a man is attracted to you, his body language shifts long before he thinks, maybe I should tell her I like her. His pupils dilate, his posture straightens, his breath changes. His voice drops a half step lower, his shoulders square without him even planning it. He finds ways to stand a little closer, as if gravity itself is nudging him toward you. These things aren't conscious decisions. They're involuntary signals of interest. A man's body reacts the moment he feels desire, whether he's ready to admit it or not. This is why that touch on the lower abdomen is so meaningful. His mind might be trying to stay calm or play it cool, but his body is already reacting to you. And because he can't verbalize what he's feeling yet, not without risking rejection, embarrassment, or intimacy, he's not prepared to express, his body takes over. It speaks for him. It tells you the truth he's trying to hide. Men often misunderstand their own signals, thinking they're simply adjusting their clothes or shifting positions, but the timing always tells the real story. Pay attention to when the gesture happens. It isn't random. It appears the moment the energy between you shifts, when you step a little closer, when your eyes linger on his, when your voice softens, when you laugh and touch your hair, or when the conversation dips into something more flirtatious. His body reacts instantly, even if he says nothing at all. And that's the beauty of understanding male desire. You see what he feels before he's brave enough to say it. Men are often guarded with their words, especially when they genuinely like someone. They don't want to overshoot, appear needy, or misread the situation. So instead, they wait, they observe. They try to control themselves. They think, don't say too much, don't make it awkward, don't rush. But their bodies, they never wait. They don't care about timing. They respond directly to chemistry in the moment. That's why his hand moves before he can think. That's why his breath catches mid-sentence. That's why he suddenly adjusts, straightens up, or touches that sensitive spot on his lower stomach. He is responding to the emotional and physical pull he feels toward you. His body is surrendering to attraction while his mind is still negotiating how to handle it. And the most powerful part of all, if you're paying attention, you'll know he wants you long before he gathers the courage to speak it. His body reveals the desire he's trying so hard to control. His words may come later, but his body will always tell you first. When a man reaches for that part of his body, right, when the tension between you two is at its highest, trust me, it's not random. It's not accidental. It's a silent confession he's too scared to say out loud. Because when a man is around a woman he deeply desires, his body becomes the thing that speaks the truth long before his words ever catch up. When the energy between you two is thick, when the air feels warmer, when the eye contact lingers, when the space between your bodies suddenly feels way too small, his instinct takes over, and that instinct shows itself in subtle touches. The adjustment of his waistband, the shift of his belt, the graze of his lower stomach, or even the way he rests his hand near his hip as if grounding himself. These little gestures are not about discomfort, they're about desire. You see, men get overwhelmed too. They feel the chemistry. They feel your presence. They feel the spark that crackles in the silence between words. And when that sexual tension peaks, when your laugh hits him in the chest, when your perfume drifts closer, when your eyes lock with his for half a second too long, his body reacts. And that reaction needs an outlet. So he touches that area, not because it hurts, but because you make him feel something he can barely control. It's his way of steadying himself, of channeling the electricity your presence creates. And what makes this moment so powerful is that he won't do it just any time. He does it only when the chemistry is mutual, when he picks up signals from you, when he feels hope, when he senses that you're not just looking at him, but seeing him. That small touch becomes a subconscious flirt, a silent masculine invitation. He's saying, I feel this, do you? Without risking rejection, without crossing boundaries, without saying something he's not sure he's allowed to say yet. This is why it matters when he does it. If he touches himself like that, when nothing is happening, when you're talking about work or groceries, it means nothing. But if he does it right after you lean in closer, right after you compliment him, right after your hand brushes his arm, or right after he catches you checking him out, oh, that's when the truth leaks through. That's when you know the tension has climbed and he's feeling all of it. Because men don't handle emotional heat the way women do. They don't hide it in their eyes. They hide it in their body language. So the next time you're sitting across from him and the silence stretches a little too long, his voice drops a little too soft, or he looks at your lips before your eyes, watch the way he touches himself. If his hand drifts down, even for a second, right at the peak of that tension, he's not just comfortable with you, he's turned on by you. And that right there is one of the clearest signs. A man wants more than just conversation. He wants connection, closeness, and yes, sex. When a man touches that specific area in front of you, especially when he does it slowly, subtly, almost like he's daring you to look, it's because he wants you to notice, but he doesn't want to be the one who crosses the line first. Men crave desire too. They want to feel wanted, they want to feel chosen, and they want to feel like the attraction is mutual. But most men also fear getting it wrong. They fear being too forward, too bold, too sexual, too soon. So instead of making the first move with words, they make it with body language, the safest way to test the waters. This kind of touch isn't accidental. It's intentional, but not aggressive. It's the quiet version of I'm into you, the silent question of do you see me the way I see you? He wants to show you that he's confident, masculine, and attracted to you without risking coming off disrespectful. So he uses a gesture that's suggestive, but still deniable. If you react, he knows the door is open. If you don't, he can play it cool like nothing happened. And here's the truth. Men think women notice nothing, but hope women notice everything. When he touches himself there, he's trying to see if your eyes drop for even half a second. He's trying to see if you bite your lip, shift your posture, smile a little differently. He's searching for signs that you feel the same spark that's lighting him up inside, because that tiny touch is his way of pulling back the curtain on his desire, just enough to tempt you without exposing himself to rejection. This is also why he does it when you're giving him your attention, when you're laughing at his joke, when you lean a little closer, when you praise something about him. He feels your energy, and instead of jumping on it too fast, he tests it. He gives you a visual hint of what he's thinking, what he's feeling, what he's imagining. He's saying, I'm right here. If you want me, you'll look. And the beautiful part, he's not doing this to be vulgar. He's doing it to be vulnerable without looking vulnerable. Men are taught to hide their emotions, hide their desire, hide their excitement. So they express it in the only way they feel safe. Subtle touches, suggestive movements, lingering glances. That gesture is his version of opening the door, just a crack, waiting to see if you'll push it open. Think about it. If he truly didn't care what you think of him, he wouldn't bother being subtle. If he only wanted attention from anyone, he wouldn't choose a moment so specific, so intimate, so tied to your reactions. He touches himself like that right in front of you because it's you he wants. It's your eyes he hopes will wander. It's your interest he's trying to spark. It's your desire he's trying to activate. In that moment, he's giving you the chance to make the next move. Not with words, not with bold actions, but with your gaze, your smile, your energy. Because if you notice, and he sees that you noticed, everything changes. The tension grows, the chemistry sharpens, and suddenly you both know exactly what the other is feeling without saying a single word. So now you know the truth. When a man touches that spot in front of you, when his hand drifts ever so subtly to his lower abdomen, when his body shifts and reacts in ways he can't even control, he's giving you a window into his desire. He's not just signaling interest, he's revealing raw, undeniable sexual tension, and he's hoping, praying even, that you notice. And that's where the magic happens, ladies. That glance you hold, that playful smile, that tiny shift in your own body, it ignites him, fuels him, makes his desire for you spike higher than you could ever imagine. It's intoxicating, isn't it? To realize that men aren't just thinking about you, they're feeling you, longing for you, and reacting in ways that are completely instinctive. That touch, that little movement is a spark. And when you respond just a little, not too much, you fan it into a fire that only you can control. You have the power to make him lean in closer, to make him ache for your lips, your warmth, your touch, every subtle signal you give, every soft laugh, every lingering glance. It's an invitation, a tease, a silent promise that you're aware of the chemistry and you're not afraid to play with it. And here's the ultimate truth. Desire is electric, undeniable, and mutual. Men crave it, but women hold the power to magnify it. The tension, the flirtation, the teasing glance. It's a dance of seduction that both of you feel, but only you can guide. So next time you notice that subtle touch, that quick adjustment, that tiny spark of reaction, lean in, feel it, enjoy it, and let yourself play with it. Because when you do, you don't just witness desire, you command it. And there is nothing more intoxicating than a woman who knows the effect she has and isn't afraid to embrace it.